I'm going to reveal how to increase the odds that you get a large and fast settlement in your personal injury claim. But before I expose these game-changing tips, we need to quickly discuss the number one reason why injury cases don't settle. It's because someone from the insurance company can't get approval to pay the amount that you're asking for. And the main cause of this is an industry insider term that blew my mind when I first heard it. It's something called the information gap. The information gap is the difference between your understanding about your case and what the insurance company understands. You need to close the information gap. Here's an example of one common situation that creates an information gap. Let's say the insurance company representative who is handling your case is located in another state. They don't realize that the city that you were injured in is known for juries awarding high verdicts. They just look at a map and see a red county and think it's a conservative area. And the claim handler assumes the jury will be conservative and won't award much. This is more likely to happen in college towns where liberal students and professors are more likely to award a large settlement. When handling your injury claim, you need to be reasonable. You need to be aware of the bad facts in your case. Good cases have good facts, and bad cases have, you guessed it, bad facts. Around 93 to 95% of civil cases, which include personal injury claims, settle without a trial. This means the more prepared you are, the better your chances of a favorable settlement. To increase your odds of a fast settlement, keep giving the adjuster data and documents. The claims adjuster is the insurance company representative who you'll be dealing with in your personal injury claim. The more information they have, the better they can evaluate your claim. Insurance companies set a settlement reserve in every case. That's the amount of money they are required to set aside to pay your case. Insurance companies set the reserves in large part based on your medical bills. All things equal, a higher amount of medical bills equals a larger reserve. Knowing how insurance adjusters evaluate cases is like knowing the terrain ahead. The adjuster who you'll be dealing with likely is working on 100 or more claims, sometimes as many as 200. Adjusters look for well-documented claims, so make sure your case stands out. You want the adjuster to think, wow, you're very organized and you're going to be a tough opponent. That's not going to be good for us, the insurance company. The next tip is a game changer that may help you get top dollar for your injuries. There are many cases where the insurance company says their insured did nothing wrong to cause your injury. On the other hand, you're claiming that their insured was at fault. These are called disputed liability cases, where liability, also called fault, is in dispute. In cases where the insurance company is arguing liability, high-quality witness statements can be priceless. I'm talking about a witness who seems like they're honest. Imagine a courtroom drama where a trustworthy witness can sway the jury, and you likely already have access to a tool that you can use to your advantage. Modern cell phones, even those from 5 years ago, take amazing video quality. You may want to consider videoing a witness statement. Shoot the video in 4K so the quality is still great if you later zoom in on it. If a witness statement is helpful to you, quickly send a couple-minute clip of the statement to the insurance company. This highlights the witness's credibility, which is good for your case. This is because most people with injury claims don't send the adjuster a video of a witness statement. Your medical records are your case's backbone. Be realistic about what they say. If your doctor minimizes your injury, factor that into your evaluation. Your doctor has a huge impact on your settlement amount. After your first medical visit with a new doctor, request the medical record. Look to see that they've correctly stated what you told them caused your injury. Sometimes doctors will say that nothing sudden caused your pain. That's bad for your case. You need to fight for your own case. Over my 20-year career settling way over $15 million in personal injury cases, I've seen hundreds of medical records that had errors. In other words, the doctor's note does not reflect what the patient told them. If the doctor incorrectly wrote down what you told them, kindly ask them to correct it. This next tip will get the adjuster to respect you more, which can lead to a large settlement. Before calling an adjuster, be prepared. Have a written list of the questions and topics you want to discuss with them. If you want them to respect you, respect them. Value their time. They'll respect you more if you come across as knowledgeable and organized. Just because you've been to the doctor doesn't mean you know what your medical records say. You need to know your medical records inside and out. The adjuster has likely seen many, maybe even hundreds of injuries similar to yours. If you're not willing to read your medical records and know them cold, you should immediately speak with a lawyer. This next tip is huge if you're claiming that the accident caused pain in your neck, back, shoulder, knee, or any other body part. I'm talking about where you don't have a broken bone. Quickly gather your medical records from before your accident. The adjuster will have access to all of your claims. Every insurance company subscribes to ISO, which is a service that keeps track of all your claims. If the adjuster asks you about your past injuries, don't deny them because you'll instantly lose credibility. Credibility is everything in personal injury claims. If you have an accident lawyer, please don't hide your past claims from them. They will find out about them. Your lawyer will lose respect for you if you're trying to hide your past claims. If you had an injury a while before this accident but didn't have symptoms, admit your pre-existing injury to the adjuster. For example, let's say that you had an injury 5 or more years before this accident, but you didn't have any symptoms. And now you were in a car or truck crash or another type of accident and your injury is now worse. Here's why you should tell the adjuster about your prior injury. Because your doctor will hopefully say that this accident aggravated your prior injury. Aggravated is a fancy word for made worse. Thankfully, you're entitled to compensation for a pre-existing injury that's made worse by an accident. So being honest with the adjuster may help you get a sizable settlement. This next tip may help settle your case faster. There's a situation where the at-fault driver or careless person's insurance company will reduce your bills. I'm talking about when they're calculating how much they think your case is worth. They'll cut your medical bills when you don't have health insurance and your medical bills are unreasonably high. So don't try to intimidate the adjuster with crazy high medical charges. To reveal a revolutionary tip that may help you get paid faster, I'll use one of my real cases. Ryan is a devoted husband and father to a young girl. One fateful day while on a business trip in Florida, he was driving a car. He was eager to finish his work and head home to embrace his wife and daughter. The thought of seeing their smiling faces kept him going. But suddenly, another driver carelessly cut Ryan off. Desperately, Ryan slammed on the brakes, but it was too late. The horrific sound of metal crashing against metal filled the air as he collided with the other car. The impact was brutal. Ryan felt excruciating pain shoot through his leg. It was so intense that he couldn't even stand up. With sheer willpower, he crawled out of his mangled car and collapsed onto the ground, unable to move his leg. Paramedics arrived quickly and rushed Ryan to the hospital. The x-rays revealed a severe leg fracture. The news was grim. A surgeon had to drill a plate and screws into his seriously broken leg to stabilize it. Ryan's world had been turned upside down in an instant. As he lay in the hospital bed, Ryan's world had been turned upside down. His mind was filled with worry. How would he provide for his family? How would he take care of his daughter? The thought of being unable to support them was unbearable. Adding to his anxiety was the fact that his job required frequent travel and he needed to be able to walk. Ryan's deepest fear was becoming a burden to the ones he loved most. While recovering in the hospital, Ryan decided to hire me as his personal injury attorney. When the hospital finally cleared him to leave, a nurse wheeled him out. His leg was encased in a heavy cast. I asked Ryan to have someone take a photo of him in that wheelchair, capturing the raw reality of his struggle. We got the photo showing his leg in a cast and his pain evident. I quickly sent that photo to the insurance adjuster. That photo made a huge difference. It showed the severity of Ryan's injury in a way that words on paper couldn't. It added urgency to his case and highlighted the real impact of the accident. Ryan's leg healed over time, but the battle was far from over. One of the insurance companies dug in their heels, refusing to pay what Ryan deserved. They fought us every step of the way. I sued to ensure Ryan received the compensation he deserved. In the end, I persuaded the insurance companies to settle for $300,000. It was a hard-won victory, but one that ensured he could focus on healing and returning to the family he loves so much. Getting good quality photos of Ryan's injuries to the adjuster quickly was crucial. It helped show the true extent of his suffering and sped up the settlement process. If you were in a coma and had a breathing tube and someone took a video or photo of that, send that to the insurance adjuster fast. Even without medical records, that can have a full value of $100,000 or more in pain and suffering. You then, of course, need to calculate in fault, and that can quickly reduce your claims value. This next tip will help you get the adjuster's attention in a good way. When you're ready to settle, make them a fair and reasonable settlement demand. Let them come up to your demand rather than demanding too high initially. Let's assume that your injuries aren't huge and the insurance policy limits are large. In this case, demanding the policy limits just because they're high rarely works. In fact, it can make you seem like you're inexperienced. That's not good. Instead, base your demand on how liable the defendant is and how badly you've been hurt. The next tip may help you from losing your cool. Don't give the adjuster all of your medical records and expect a fair settlement offer within the next 2 weeks. That's a mistake. Give the adjuster time to review your materials. Remember, they may need to ask their claims manager to give them authority to settle. And in large cases, the claims manager may need to then ask the senior VP of claims for settlement authority. Here's a mistake that I see many people without a lawyer make. They don't invest time and money into their case, and as a result, they get no offer or a low offer. Doing the following may substantially increase the value of your case. Order the 911 call, get the police officer's body cam and dash cam footage, and hire an accident reconstructionist and engineer when appropriate. You or your lawyer may also need to pay $500 or more for your doctor to write a letter saying whether your injury is permanent. If you have a lawyer, they may need to pay your doctor around $500 for a phone conference to see what they say about your injuries and future treatment. If your doctor says you need future surgery, it may add enormous value to your case. I settled a broken leg case for $1.2 million, but only because the doctor said that my client still needed future surgery. Develop a powerful story of your journey and how the other person or company's carelessness impacted your life. Your story will be battling against the adjuster's story of how your injury isn't that bad. They'll likely say that their insured made a simple mistake. The next tip is one of my favorites. Show interest in the adjuster. Look up their LinkedIn profile to learn more about them. Maybe you both went to the same college, lived in a similar city, or have other similar interests or hobbies. Some of the most respected books on influencing others and negotiating recommend using a simple tactic. It's using the other person's name when speaking and negotiating with them. But don't wait until you start talking money to do this. At the start of your first phone call with the adjuster, use their name. End every phone call by saying, "Thank you for your time, Mike," or whatever their name is. I found that using the adjuster's name when speaking with them can be very effective in getting the adjuster to like and trust you. But more importantly, it may get them to pay you more to settle. If you're able to do a Zoom call with the adjuster, smile and be nice. Every time the claims rep speaks with you, they're sizing you up. They'll even make notes of how you come across, because this is how they think you'll be in front of a jury if your case goes to trial. You want the adjuster to like you. A long time ago, I used to defend insurance companies. During a lawsuit, they required us to tell them what the injured person was like. We'd factor this into our calculation of how much the case was likely worth. And so would the insurance company. There's something that's twice as powerful as speaking in your injury claim. It's listening. Never yell at the adjuster and stay composed. There's an argument that insurance companies often use in car and truck accident cases. In many crash reports, the police officer will say that you weren't injured. And there's also a chance that the other driver will tell their insurance company that you were walking around fine after the crash. So if you're hurt from an accident, you need a doctor to quickly document that you're injured. I can't stress this next tip enough if you want to shoot for a fast payout. You or your lawyer need to understand your injury. For example, let's say that you're young and have a herniated disc in C4, C5, or C5 or C6. That's in your neck. You can tell the adjuster that disc herniations at those levels often result in surgery. If the herniated disc is affecting your grip strength, let the insurance company know. The same is true if a herniated disc is affecting your ability to use your hands and fingers smoothly and skillfully. Even with these pro tips, the insurance company will often delay making you an offer. And if they make you one, it's usually really low. you still need to use a proven step to put more pressure on the insurance company to increase the odds they pay you fast. And I reveal how to do just that in the video that's on screen now, link in the description below, so watch it right now. And if you've been injured in Florida or on a cruise and you think someone else may be at fault, click the link in the description below to see if I could be the lawyer for you.